Holy crap. We finally made it to the big 10K. I honestly didn't think we'd get here without me losing my sanity first, but somehow we all actually did it. Back in March, I promised that once we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'd rip off the curtain and unleash the mystery Brett into the world. And after 5 months, we finally achieved the one goal that's been eating away at my soul since day one. Alright, enough of my congratulations speech. Let's talk about why we're all here. So this brat doesn't come from a TV show like most other brats, but more so from a Japanese anime film called Mirai. Now, I remember watching this midway through the pandemic, and as an 11-year-old who still believed Caillou was the king of all brats, this kid's behavior absolutely blew my mind. This kid is the most selfish, violent, spoiled, rotten piece of crap I have ever seen in the entire history of brat culture. I kid you not. This Japanese Caillou has raked himself so deep in hell, he can't even be considered a brat. Calling him a brat is an insult to all the other cartoon brats. This is a psychopathic, cruel, soul-rotten demon who looks like he was constructed out of ashes, hate, and the cries of dead children. This kid is the embodiment of everything rotten in existence, packaged into a 4-year-old who should have been banished to another dimension at birth. The plot of this movie is pretty straightforward. A 4-year-old, who we just talked about, gets a new baby sister and decides to make her life a living hell the moment his parents start paying less attention to him. He also goes through these strange flashback-like scenarios of similar situations he's been in, which, okay, I guess. Now that this movie has basically been beaten down to a pulp, what good is there to it? Honestly, the animation is pretty decent, and that's about it. Outside of that, I can't find much to praise. This movie really just shows that this kid has zero self-control and a serious dislike for his family. And somehow, some way, this movie managed to win an Academy Award. What? For what reason exactly? This review sums up the whole movie. It was not about Mirai. It was about a really awful behaved boy who shouted at his mom and dad, hits his baby sister, craves attention rudely, and yells all the time. The animation is amazing, but the story is not funny, not interesting, not thought-provoking, not moving. It drags and the imagination of the boy is confusing, interrupts the pacing, and because the boy is so clueless that his behavior is wrong, him being told the reality of things through imagination of his relatives is not enough to feel any sympathy for him. His parents let him act how he likes and it's tiresome to watch. The only character I liked was the father, as the mother acted selfish and rude, especially to her husband. I'll also be comparing some scenes of this movie with scenes from other shows I've talked about in the past, including one of the most infamous scenes in the movie being compared to Big Brother Caillou. So make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and now, let's dive right in.
The movie begins with a picture sequence of what is supposed to be after the two parents got married. And for the most part, everything seems normal. Oh no, don't tell me. Oh dang it, of course you decided to start a family, let alone start one with this kid. And while some of you may think I'm crazy for hating on a newborn, just wait and you'll understand why. In fact, we're gonna see his true colors in about 6 to 7 minutes. So stay tuned. Going back to the kid, he has spread out his fetish for trains all over the frickin' floor. He promises to his grandma that he'll clean up the place before their parents get back. But why are the parents even gone in the first place? Just read the movie's title and that should pretty much sum everything up in a nutshell. Now surely he'll help out his poor grandma and oh, what am I saying? If anything, he just made it worse. Poor grandma barely has any time to clean the place up while Caillou torments the family dog. His parents then come back with their new daughter. Instead of feeling happy for them, he whines about how he was so lonely there.
What took you so long? I was so lonely.
Funny, didn't seem so lonely 2 minutes ago, buddy. Caillou turns off the crocodile tears and gets memorized with his new baby sister as if he's witnessing the second coming of Christ.
You must always be nice to her, okay? And you have to protect her no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's gonna stick. Caillou can't even enjoy the arrival of his new baby sister as he decides to name his sister after his bullet trains.
Nozomi.
Who the hell had the idea to give a bullet train the name of Nuzome? Grandma ends up leaving the place for work. But I think that's just an excuse to get away from her 4-year-old grandson before he ends up possessing the Japanese Caillou inside of her. Now you might be asking yourselves, well, what was so bad about that? What do you mean this kid is the final boss of Brats? And well, you're about to see this kid's true colors. Before I continue, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and let's see if we can reach 15,000 subscribers before the end of November. Caillou's dad is suffering second-degree burns while we see Caillou planning his vengeance for the day. He shouts at his tired mom for more milk, and dad tries to help her out. But he wants his mommy to give it to him. because he can't seem to grasp the concept that his mom just pushed a 6-pound baby through her birth canal. Dad tries to calm down the screaming tyrant, which results in him getting assaulted by his own son.
Hey.
If I even dared to fist out my hands in front of my dad, I'd be in my deathbed before I could even lay the first hit. We then see the dad clean up the whole house. And I'm sorry, but this house is the most perplexing, let alone confusing house I've looked at in a Japanese film. There's no walls, no railings to protect their kids, unfortunately. And some areas look steep. KU doesn't make things any better with his constant whining and groaning. Dad tries to get his mind off the Japanese miscreant by rizzing himself up to the other women. And as much as I like this guy, he shouldn't be trying to show himself off to other women. Bro really thinks he deserves some type of medal, which, looking back, he has done most of the work, which is really impressive, but I still think he shouldn't be showing off to other women.
You just can't help yourself, can you? Doing your I'm the perfect husband act in front of all the other moms.
Ma'am, this guy cleaned an entire house up to bottom in the span of an hour. I don't want to hear it from you out of all people. KU tells Mirai he's going to teach her lots of things, like how to act like a spoiled brat when life doesn't go your way, and how to be a whiny little prick. He then makes up this stupid story about the chase between a witch and a mustache? Also, that looks nothing like a witch. That looks like Lucy if she grew up to be evil and demonic. Mirai is on the verge of suffocating in a pool full of bullet trains when their mom comes in at the last minute. She tells her son to leave her to hell alone. Surely he'll understand. KU continues to shout in everyone's eardrums for attention, and the two parents clearly couldn't care less. Even the dog is starting to get sick of this kid. KU then proceeds to hide himself from the world, which was the first smart decision he's made so far in this movie. Unfortunately, KU doesn't end up staying there for the rest of the movie. In fact, this is when KU begins to show just how evil and sick in the head he is. The first sign of this is checking to see his parents are out of eyeshot, which they are indeed. And while leaving the baby in the other room next to you would have been fine, it's really dangerous when you have a kid who hates being told no and doesn't get the attention he wants. KU sets his dastardly plan into action as he begins to mess up her face, and just this breathing alone already tells you what kind of future he's gonna have. Bro, what is that? Phase 2 of KU's plan is in motion, and this is just so messed up. What sane person would think anyone, especially a 1-day-old baby who just came fresh out of the womb with like a finger shoved up their nostril? That is freaking painful, and it probably hurts more since it's a baby. Now, it's time for the comparisons. Many of you probably remember the infamous Caillou episode titled Big Brother Caillou. In it, Caillou isn't very welcoming to his new baby sister, Rosie, and even shows his frustration by pinching her face. But keep in mind, Caillou is only about 2 years old at this point. At that age, he hasn't yet developed a real understanding of empathy or how his actions affect others. I'll also bring up the Thomas Daly episode titled Don't Copy Television. In that story, Thomas does kick his sister, but shockingly, it wasn't done with malicious intent.
What?
He was caught up in the act of pretending to be a ninja and didn't really think about how his actions would affect anyone else. Although their excuses to hurting their sisters were pretty stupid, and they didn't really own up to it nor actually apologize.
Caillou, why did you do that to Rosie?
I don't like Rosie.
Why not?
Rosie doesn't play with me. I tried to do a sword fight like on TV, then did some kicks. Then I fell.
With KU though, he knew what he was getting himself into, and he doesn't even care. I mean, not even Caillou or Thomas would go to the extreme lengths of trying to suffocate their baby sisters. And that's saying something. He ends up suffocating a baby, which grabs the attention of their mother. And again, another sign of this kid's future. This is the face of a kid caught in the act. He doesn't look sorry at all. If anything, he's sorry his plan didn't work.
You promised that you would be nice to her.
It's not my fault, okay?
What do you mean it's not your fault? You were the one who came over there and began messing with her face. No one made you do that. That was all you. Don't you frickin' tell me it wasn't your fault. Rather than apologize for disturbing the baby, he tried to gaslight his mom into thinking he didn't do it with ill intent and how he just can't be nice to the baby. Which is pretty stupid. What do you mean you can't be nice to the baby? Is it like your urges are telling you to go hurt her or something? Quit with the excuses and own up. Now this is the most infamous scene in the movie, which, by the way, we're not even at the 15-minute mark, keep in mind. And just take a look at what this kid does. There's a reason why I put this kid as the final boss of Bratz. And this scene alone proved my point 10 billion times over.
You have to be extra gentle with a baby.
But I can't.
Just try.
Yeah.
Enough.
I won't do it.
Am I going to hell for that? Am I going to hell for that?
all saw that with your own eyes. You can't tell me that was an accident. He knew what he was doing and still proceeded to go through with it. No cartoon brat ever brought up on YouTube would go to this extent. Yes, we've seen babies get hit, kicked, spat on, insulted, but never would any of these cartoon brats go to the lengths of grabbing a hard bullet train and whacking it on their sister's head. That's not some dumb petty mistake. That's a full-on evil calculated attack on a newborn baby's skull. And what makes this even worse? He doesn't care. It's like he's been planning this the moment she stepped foot into this house. At least Thomas had the nerve to apologize for spitting on his sister. However, if there's one thing that makes me satisfied with this scene, and no, it's not the baby getting hurt, it's how the mom reacts. When Boris saw Caillou pinching his sister, all he did was ask Caillou why he did what he did and drop the whole thing after. However, this mom is not afraid to fight fire with fire to this kid. She straight up shoves him into the wall and yells in his face.
What's wrong with you? She's a baby. You could have seriously hurt her.
This part makes her indefinitely better than any cartoon mom we've ever seen in brat culture. Think about it. Do you really think Doris or Little Brown Bear's mom would even have the guts to physically put their kids in their place like this? Not a chance. She may not have stopped him before he hurt the baby, but the fact that she gave him a taste of his own medicine makes up for it. And honestly, I laughed my head off the first time I saw this. Finally, this kid gets what he deserves. Of course, Caillou screams his lungs out after. But let's be real, he's not crying because he feels guilty about hurting his sister. He's crying because he got hurt. He wasn't expecting his mom to slam him into the wall, and now he's throwing a tantrum over it. So after all of those events happened, what goes on now? Well, Caillou was unleashing his demons, the baby is scarred for life, the dog's going wild, and the dad gives us one of the funniest yet relatable faces in the entire movie. Like, this face is meme potential.
He looks like he's regretting every single life choice that led him here.
He looks like he's seen a scene straight out of a horror film, and I can understand why. Let's not forget, this movie with this particular scene somehow got 5 stars and an Academy Award. The mom, though, isn't finished. She notices her husband standing there and basically forces him to handle the situation. She then turns back to her demonic son and tells him to stop being a piece of trash and accept the sister he's been given. But Caillou still hasn't backed down from his word. In fact, he throws out what's considered the worst insult you can call someone in Japan. Now, you might be wondering, is it a curse word? Maybe even a racial slur? Nope, it was something even worse. He called his mom a witch. Yeah, that one word was enough to push her completely over the edge. Now, if that W were swapped with a B, that'd be a whole different story. The mom is so offended by the insult that she actually turns into a witch.
You're a big brother now. Well, you don't have a choice.
You're not my mommy.
Yeah, then who am I supposed to be?
You're a witch. An old, ugly witch.
Well, that'll be sure to haunt me in my sleep tonight. Caillou is still screaming like a dying hyena and stumbles over to his so-called daddy, who looks to be on the verge of dying from a stroke. Caillou then decides to run outside, where we're greeted to some random homeless man. Now, why is there a random homeless man, and what is he doing in this kid's backyard? Well, turns out that Human is supposed to be a visual of the family dog. He explains to the whining despot about how he used to garner all the attention, and unlike Caillou, this man has every single reason to crash out on him. He had the good luxury life, and it was snatched away from him by this ungrateful, spoiled brat. Instead of feeling sympathy for the dog, he decides to trick him with a game of fetch, which gives him the perfect opportunity to rip out his tail and snatch it up his ass. Wow, not only is this kid cruel to his family, but also to animals. This is straight up assault.
Hey, I see you finally calmed down. You're not acting like a baby anymore. That's good.
I don't know what that was all about, but I'm glad it's over.
Oh, trust me, this only gets worse from here on out. And keep in mind, we're not even at the 25-minute mark yet.
This is gonna be fun.
Now, I don't usually sum things up until the final few minutes of the video, but since this scene has basically nothing of value to offer, I'm just gonna sum it up in a nutshell. Basically, Caillou wakes up to discover it's Girls' Day, otherwise known as Hinamatsuri.
Forget I ever said that.
It's basically where families display dolls and share symbolic foods to celebrate and wish happiness for girls. Although I don't think this family's in a happy place after what's happened so far. Granny and Grandpa then come over to see their new granddaughter. The deranged, demented crackhead then shows up to steal all the spotlight for himself. I guess not even on Girls' Day can Caillou be a little considerate of others. The two then discover a birthmark on her right arm. And when I first watched this scene, I thought this kid tried to cut her wrist off camera. Thankfully, it's not what it seemed to be. Although it's only a matter of time before this kid turns into Japanese's most dangerous serial killer. Grandma also warns her daughter to put the dolls away on time, and if you're wondering why that's even a thing, apparently every day you leave them out equals 1 extra year your daughter's marriage gets delayed. Tradition is wild sometimes. Alright, now that all of this is out of our hair, let's continue with the regular format.
KU's mom has to go back to work, which leaves poor dad trapped in a 5-day nightmare babysitting Japan's most psychopathic child. KU, of course, doesn't want his mommy to leave. Never mind the fact that not too long ago, he was calling her a witch and insisting she wasn't even his real mother. Sweet kid. Mom then tells her husband not to forget to put the dolls away, which is a key detail that'll be important later on. The next few hours show Dad being driven to the depths of hell with KU's non-stop complaining, breaking plates, and Mirai also screaming her head off. Dad is so fried, he just passes out. And somehow KU doesn't manage to burn the house down in the process. KU then tells his daddy he wants to play. Sorry, Matt, I had to. KU's dad then deliberately slaps the truth in his face.
I thought you'd rather be with mommy.
Damn! When I say he, besides Mirai, is the only great and relatable character in this movie, that isn't a joke, it's an understatement. My man just doesn't want to live anymore. But honestly, I don't blame him.
Mirai, have you ever seen a whale? I don't like you, Mirai. You're boring.
What is with this whole bipolar act? 1 minute you love your sister, next minute you hate her. 1 minute you love your mom and miss her, next minute you straight up insult her and wish she was dead. Like, oh my gosh, make up your mind. We're then dropped straight into another one of those whiskable fantasy zones, this time styled to look like a forest. KU follows a trail of animal-shaped cookies, which eventually leads him to a teenage girl. This girl is Mirai from the future. Yes, the actual point of the film finally shows up. She scolds her older brother for basically trying to commit murder and for being a total menace in general. Remember those dolls Mom asked Dad to put away earlier? Well, his mental circuits seem to shorten out so badly that he's just permanently checked out. Again, I don't blame him. Mirai says she needs her brother's help to get Dad to put the dolls away, but KU is a constant reminder of his deep dislike for having a younger sister. What follows is one of the strangest and most disturbing scenes in the movie. And I thought KU's attempted murder scene was twisted enough.
Can we play it again? Please?
You are one weird kid, you know that? KU makes a weak attempt to convince their father to put the dolls away, and unsurprisingly, it goes about as well as his sister's brain-damaged logic. Mirai can't rely on her brother and decides to take matters into her own hands. Dad freaks out, but not because he saw his daughter as a teenager, but because her daughter has gone missing. It turns out teenage Mirai and baby Mirai can't occupy the same space at the same time.
Did you just see that? The baby suddenly vanished into thin air and then mysteriously reappeared again. I wonder why something like that would happen. Maybe it means that the Mirai from the future and baby Mirai can't exist at the same time and in the same place.
Yes, genius. It's exactly what I just said. Mirai sets her plan out in motion, but not before KU asks his sister to play that bizarre bee game again. I'm starting to question the thoughts in this kid's brain. Like, remember, this is the same girl that was beaten in the head with a toy train. Just remember that. The trio set their plan in motion. If you can even call it that. KU can't even string a sentence together while Yuko decides to separate the pieces, and oh, why are you separating the pieces? You're an actual idiot. The plan almost foils when the dad goes over to find one of the pieces falling to the ground. The dog is on the verge of dying from suffocation when KU finally has the nerve to make a distraction.
I have to go!
Took you long enough. Everything seems fine, until Mirai notices the Emperor's baton is missing. Do you guys remember earlier when the dog was tearing everything apart? Yeah, that's one of the pieces he forgot to grab. Honestly, you might be more brain dead than the kid, and that's saying something. KU discovered the pieces stuck to his dad's bottom. I don't know if it's just me, but the scene tries way too hard to be dramatic. Like, it is not that deep. The trio now have to sneak into the kitchen and retrieve the baton without being noticed. Also, what is this background music? This whole thing feels stupid to watch. Hell, I even feel stupid for watching this. Why couldn't one of them just grab it while the other snuck out? But no, we need tension. The trio are somehow able to grab the item, and you think after all the hell they just went through, that KU would take a small shred of liking to his sister.
Do you maybe like me a little better now?
Oh my gosh, are you that stubborn? Just get over this.
I see. Well, at least I tried.
And you should stop trying. You're never gonna make any progress with this kid. Mom returns from her business trip where Dad's confused on how all the dolls were put away. I'll give you one hint.
I think I like baby Mirai better.
Oh, don't believe anything positive this kid says about Mirai. By tomorrow, he'll be stabbing her in the back with a smile.
Yo, let's see what's up with this kid, man.
Who do you think that is?
It's Mom.
That's right.
Where am I?
You're right there. There in my tummy.
The mom kind of bad. All right, bro, that's my first time. I'm not gonna say it no more.
Who do you think this is?
It's you, isn't it? You're so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
You were skinnier then.
Hey, watch it, buddy.
That's crazy, getting roasted by her own kid.
Elementary school. I had so much fun then. First grade. Oh, look. That's Yuichi.
Yoichi? Who's Yoichi?
He's Mommy's little brother. We went to his wedding, remember?
Did you guys get along?
Yeah, of course we did.
I never watched this anime in particular, but I just like the whole aesthetic of the show overall.
I want a bicycle.
Well, we can talk about that later.
I want a bicycle.
You're not getting a bicycle, pal?
Oh, seriously?
All this mess, bro. Talk about bicycle, bro. Clean up after yourself, bro. And then maybe I'll think about giving you a bicycle, my guy. Bro, y'all see
I
all
want
this
to be
mess?
this color.
Granny's coming over, so you need to pick out your toys.
I'm not done playing.
Do as you're told, Kun.
Not gonna lie, that's kind of wild. What type of name is that? Mama, I called you bad at first, bro, but now I'm finna take it back. We talk about Kun, K-U-N, not the other Kun. Who names their child that? What type, like, who names their child that?
Dad can help me clean up.
Daddy is not home today.
I can't do it without him.
Oh, fine, then I'm just gonna have to throw them all away.
You can't do that.
And I'm never gonna buy you another new toy again.
No, Mom, please do.
Then pick up your toys.
I don't want.
Bro, are you serious? Bro got mad, started to twerk. Look at this.
I don't want.
Look at this guy. Over there twerking. Clean up your mess, bro.
Why is it always like this?
This is Mariah's fault.
Are you serious?
You hit her, she's a baby.
He was about to hit the kid? So he was about to hit the kid because he made a mess. Okay. Are you serious? What's wrong with this kid, bro? And to be honest with y'all, bro, he was set up for failure at birth, bro. Just look at his name, bro. I'm questioning the mom on that name, bro. There's so many questions I have. First of all, you was gonna hit your baby sister because of your mess? Are you serious, bro? Look at this dude, bro. You don't want to do nothing. Clean your mess up. What do you think about cleaning your mess up? Are you kidding me right now, bro? Look at him. Just scribbling, just upset. He's just crashing out.
She's a witch.
Yo, this guy's unbelievable. Look at him crashing out.
She's a witch. Mom's a witch. Why is she so mean? I hate her.
What the? This kid is crashing out because he made a mess and his mom asked him to clean it. I don't understand why this has to be a thing where he blows up over off of him having to clean up his own mess. Why is this such a big deal for this kid, bro? Like, he's crashing out.
You really should be nicer to her. Future Mirai.
Wait. So he's imagining his little sister, if she was in the future, he just called her Mirai. I think that's his sister's name, Mirai.
Bullet train even after Mom told you not to.
But it wasn't a bullet train.
You aren't supposed to use a bullet train to hit people.
It was super suicide.
Exactly.
I don't care what kind it was. And why can't you be a little nicer to Mom?
I don't know. I just can't.
Not gonna lie, if I'm future her, you see the distance they have between both of them? I'm bum rushing this little kid as soon as I see him, bro. Like, bro, you tried to take me out when I was a baby. Now that I'm big, I'm bum rushing you. I would have been on him right now, bro. Boom! Kick that dude like a field goal, bro. I promise you. I'll turn into prime Tom Brady.
Come on, try.
I know. I'm not cute. Huh? Both baby Mirai and Yuko are really cute. Not me. I know I'm not that cute anymore.
This is all because you want to be the most cutest. I ain't, bro. This is the most zestiest thing I've ever heard in my life, bro. Where are we at? Did he just teleport somewhere else, bro?
Huh? Where am I?
Oh, so now he's imagining his mom as a kid. Oh, yeah, because that's from that picture. Okay. Where they at? Is this her house or something? This might be her house, y'all.
Oh, you can play with my brother's toys if you want.
This is so y'all, if y'all confused, bro, basically I think he's imagining all this stuff happening. This is his mom, but this is his mom as a kid. So he's imagining that he's hanging out with his mom as a kid.
Will you get in trouble for doing that?
Probably, but it's funner when it's messy.
Bro, she's making a mess everywhere.
Help yourself to anything you want. You might get scolded.
Probably, but it tastes better when it's messy.
Whether this is a flashback or whatever, if it's in his mind, what does she do as soon as she's left alone. She makes a mess. And the crazy thing is, maybe I'm wrong, but this is supposed to be his mom as a kid. She was scolding him about his behavior, but look at her behavior.
It's so good. I know, right? So good. So good. So good.
Look at them, they're about to break the table. Maybe kids, bro, I swear. All types of commotion, look at this. These kids are just making a mess for no reason, just because they think it's fun to make a mess. Bro, this is why, bro, I hope when the mama get here, she gets here, I hope she whoops both of them, bro. He's having the time of his life right now, bro. Judging from every scene we saw of him, bro, this dude's a brat, bro. Yo, can you clean your mess up that you made? He crashed out for what? I don't know. When he did that whole flashback and his Mirai, whatever her name, his older sister Mirai confronted him about his behavior. He claimed he was only misbehaving because he wanted to be the cutest one, which makes zero sense to me. Not only that, even when he was hanging out with her, he was still misbehaving. He just goes in people's houses and just starts pulling things down and making a big old mess. Like it's his home, bro. Man, get this kid off my screen, bro.
KU's dad finally decides to take his son to the park with his brand new bike, because KU's mom just couldn't handle another migraine from his endless whining about not having one. KU gets an instant case of FOMO when all the other kids are seen riding their bikes without training wheels. And knowing KU, he decides to skip the tutorial and go straight into the boss level. He doesn't even go 5 seconds on his bike without giving himself his first concussion. Dad decides to help KU on the grass, while leaving his infant baby daughter alone with a stranger. Which, bro, that's an L on your part. I know the woman was nice and whatnot, but what if that stranger was a kidnapper? Dad tries pushing KU again, but the only thing he manages to push is his own school into the ground. KU says he doesn't want to do this anymore, but even God has chosen to give KU some sort of mercy as some older boys decide to help him out. Doesn't matter though, because KU throws the world's biggest tantrum the second his dad dares to pay attention to the only child he truly loves.
You're so stupid!
KU straight up beats the hell out of his dad while mom just stands there smiling. I understand why that one person hated her. KU has had enough and runs off before being completely blasted by a plane engine. Turns out, KU is in another one of those scenarios involving his great-grandpa. It's nothing special though. All it consists of is KU's great-grandpa shoving John Cena's Never Give Up model down his great-grandson's throat.
And his name is John Cena!
But in all seriousness, the soundtrack and animation for this is pretty beautiful. Wish the whole movie was like that. We now shift back to reality, where KU wants to give it one last shot. Yeah, I've seen that before. Unlike last time, however, KU doesn't act like a whiny little douche the second he falls on his bike. Wow, KU's actually acting like a man for once. But this barely puts a dent into my liking for this kid. Not that there was ever a liking to him in the first place. He eventually learns to ride without training wheels, while the dad is actually able to hold his daughter without stepping over glass. Yay! Character development. So this is the last major subplot of the movie, and I honestly think this has some of the wildest things imaginable. I don't want to spoil anything yet, so let's begin. KU's dad is trying to help his son pack for their trip, but KU can't even let the tiniest part of life be peaceful. He decides to throw a full-blown existential crisis over missing yellow shorts. Turns out the sacred garment is in the washer, so he's gotta settle for the blue ones. Tragic. Truly the struggles of our generation. KU's mom has a splitting headache, and KU just makes it more unbearable with his constant whining. He takes his shorts off as an act of vengeance and declares he's running away forever!
I'm running away!
Oh, you mean to your room?
And I'm not coming back!
Whoa, that's not how running away works. The point of running away is to leave your house, not hide in a bathtub. Even Hort Henry and Angelica got this concept right. And I know most kids have probably done something like this, but bro didn't even make it out the door. KU tries to make his plan work, which goes around 5 seconds. He starts realizing his parents aren't frantically searching for him, because, surprise, surprise, they actually have real problems to deal with. KU instantly cries and declares them enemies. So in a nutshell, the whole point of that petty threat was for the parents to feel concerned and look for their son, which would have maybe worked, except the fact he didn't even leave his house. Like, as long as they know you're safe in their house, they're not gonna waste their time trying to find you, obnoxious piece of crap. And even if you did actually run away, I think a party would be in effect. KU then gets transported to the last scenario for the movie, where we see an older version of himself telling him to just apologize and let go of these stupid grudges he's been holding on to for the entire movie. Which for once, I actually agree with him. But, knowing KU, he fights back and will stand tall in his claim of hating them. The two get into an exchange of not liking and not liking his family.
No, you do not like them.
No, I don't not like them.
No, you do not like them.
Yes, I do not like them.
You do not like them.
Confusing, until KU jumps straight onto the train.
Little brat.
Thank you for saying that! And this is his older variation, keep in mind. It only took you an hour and 20 minutes to say that. But hey, better late than never. KU then arrives at the station, where he seems to have no clue on where to go. He then tries to find a way back home, which makes all his whining and non-stop threats of running away absolutely pointless. He gets upset seeing all of the other kids get to see their parents again, and that probably comes down to the fact they don't treat their families like absolute trash. We then get a sight at KU's mom turning into an actual witch, which is poetic justice since he's been calling her that the whole movie. Honestly, if I were her, I'd stay that way. KU tries to find his way back home through the Lost and Found station, which already feels ironic considering the only thing he's lost is his sense of self-awareness. He fails to answer even the simplest of questions, like the names of his parents and sister. Guess he hates his family so much that he doesn't even want to remember they exist. The guy points out that children who have nowhere else to go board a special train leading to the Lonely Land, which is essentially hell in this movie. Pretty fitting for him to end up given his attitude the entire movie. KU is almost sent for eternal suffering when he finally admits that Mirai is his sister, which would be touching if it didn't take him the entire movie to say it. Future Mirai then phases through the ceiling and swoops in to save her idiot older brother, but not before giving him the ultimate guilt trip slideshow, the past struggles of your family. Like his dad struggling to ride a bike, and Yuko feeling his last sense of happiness before being taken away and tortured by his owner. We then get sent to the present where we see the same guy from earlier and finds out he's KU from the future.
Is this goodbye?
Don't be silly. Now you had better get going before you start getting sick of me.
Yeah, you go, Mirai. Give this terrorizing sorry excuse of a brother a taste of his own medicine. His yellow shorts are finally done washing, but he chooses to keep his blue ones on instead. Wow, he has self-control, guys! Too bad he couldn't have used that in the first 15 minutes of the movie. He then gives Mirai some of his banana and then proceeds to end the movie by screaming like a deranged lunatic, with his sister also following his lead. Holy crap, it only took me a month to finish this 10K special, if you guys still call it that. But man, the journey of hell this was. Like I said earlier in the video, there's a reason I placed KU as the final boss of Bratz, and it's because of everything that transpired in this film. This kid may not be the worst in terms of cartoons as a whole, but in terms of the kids' cartoons, he's definitely deserving of his spot as being the worst of the worst. I mean, you never saw Caillou or Thomas go to the lengths of concussing their sisters with a train, and while Little Brown Bear called his mom horrible, at least he never went to the lengths of calling his mom a witch and going as far as drawing her as one. I think you all get the point, and I'm honestly glad I'll never have to talk about this heinous, foul, sadistic, wanted Japanese criminal ever again. So, in good old Matt Neff style, F you Yoko for acting like an idiot and failing to understand simple instructions, F you mom for putting down your husband and laughing at their son straight up assaulting him, and of course, for acting like a jerk towards the people around him both physically and mentally, and trying to kill his sister twice, F you KU. Thanks for watching, everyone. I want to give a thanks to VP Awesome for appearing in this video. Go subscribe to his channel and let me know what I should cover for my 20,000 subscriber special. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later. Peace.